Hey Ranger Nation, so one thing I really do is I hope this comes out okay, is in the summer or leading up to the summer, the light is good, but for my camera, it looks okay. I just really hope it's not really too dark or too grainy. Before we begin the video, if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the cheeky notification bell, you'll be notified when more videos drop. These are my thoughts on Ryusoulger episode 6, Counterattack Tankjoh. So I have to admit, this episode did kind of shock me, but it also kind of made me go, oh, that's interesting. I do say interesting a lot in these videos. This episode left off with episode 5, so it was a continuation. So it wasn't like a little bit of a time skip, but there was still kind of a lot of emotion. We saw that Towa's arm hit the ground, which normally means in this sort of situation that Towa had passed on. But no, he's absolutely fine as they kind of talk about it. Now, before I continue, I am watching this in raw. I'm not watching it with subtitles, so I'm only going off what I can think or what I can see going on. Subtitles will come much later on. This is when Yui's father comes in and starts talking and saying, I'm guessing it's like, hey, I know where they are. They were on this building. This is when Bamba just runs off and, you know, tries to track them down. Kishiryu is kind of on top of the building talking to the minions, and they're doing this kind of film shoot, so I'm guessing either they're going to be talking or releasing a video very either to YouTube or to the rest of the world. And all of a sudden, Bamba just comes out of nowhere, and Kiryu's like, oh my god, what's going on? I generally like the fact that Bamba found them really quickly, hence the information, but went straight for it. As he's about to fight, he stops and he kind of goes, oh, and you get this dun dun, which means that, I'm guessing that from the monster from the last episode bit, Towa was just like, okay, it's now spreading to all of them that it's done something. So he kind of like stumbles down. Kyo just runs out of nowhere, grabs him, makes sure that he's okay. They see that the energy is passing from the girl from the last episode, so obviously the Minosaur hasn't been defeated and it's been transferred and the Minosaur is getting stronger. As everyone's kind of looking at it, Asuna suddenly drops to her knees because she's been infected, UI is being infected as well. Everyone in the room is kind of wondering what's going on, and we see that obviously it's taking its toll. The only two people that aren't kind of affected at the moment is Kyo and Melt. So what they do is they rush off to find the Minosaur because they have a feeling of where it's going to be. Bamba stops Melt. I'm guessing it's just like, go for it, don't hold back, just do what you can. That's what I'm guessing. It's probably something completely different. So we jump to the scene where Kishiryu and the Minosaur are actually there. They're kind of talking, and I think the Minosaur is getting a bit out of control a bit because I think it like backhands or just barks at Kishiryu, which kind of startles him. All of a sudden, Kyo and Melt arrive on the scene. They morph and then it jumps into a commercial break, but then we see straight away that there is a fight going on. Kyo uses like the kind of hardening or the kind of armor soul, and then this is when Melt goes, you need to use what Bamba and Toya used, which was the speed soul in the last episode. Now, I liked it being used, but I didn't like the effects. It feels like he's not super fast. It just looks really bad animation or maybe visual effects. And also when you see Kyo going like, hey, how you doing? You see that you know that was filmed on a green screen and it doesn't kind of match the environment, which kind of put me off a little bit. As soon as Melt is about to use his ability, what he does is he like activates it or is about to, but then whatever got the others has got him as well, and he falls down and he demorphs straight away, which then causes him to be hit by the Minosaur and Kyo to be like, what were you doing? And then he, you know, the form of attacks kind of stopped, which I didn't mind. It's something different. Obviously when you're focused on one thing and something happens to kind of like make your mind wander or bring you out of this, it's like, oh, that's it. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. So Kyo gets hit as well. Back at the house, Bamba is about to strike down the girl who was in the last episode, thinking that that will stop the transfer of her energy going to the Minosaur. Now one thing is, this does annoy me, but I would like it if he was taught a lesson much later on. So we see that, you know, he goes like, oh crap, I'm going to stop, I'm not going to do this. You know, I was wrong, but I don't know if they're going to implement that. It would be really interesting if they did, but again, they're not. When he's about to do it, Toya stops him and says, no, you're not going to do it. And Asuna jumps in as well, and she says, no, this is not going to work either. We then jump back to the fight. I'm guessing Asuna said in the previous thing, she's like, you know, the others are out finding this Minosaur, they're trying to do something, so can we stop this? But Kyo is affected as well, and he demorphs. But one thing that he does is when the Minotaur comes running over to him, he actually jumps in and actually gets him to bite him, but then grabs his tooth and rips it off. And I was like, oh, it's making my toes curl even when talking about it. But this then stops the Minotaur, and he kind of runs off, and Kyoron walks off as well, scared that, that the Ryusoulgers could just wipe the floor with him. As Kyo falls to the ground, he starts kind of thinking back to what happened with his master. And again, I think we've seen this a few times, but one thing I really liked is that when he wakes up, he sees himself with Melt on Terramigo, and they're running, and Terramigo is running back to the old man, which we saw in episode 1, who has, I've got to admit, possibly a really cool thing. He has a kebab van. Oh, kebabs. So I didn't expect this. So Toya and Melt explain what's going on, and Kyo gives the tooth to the old man, who creates the antidote by kind of like transforming it into a liquid. They both drink it. Boom. They're healed. The poison's gone or whatnot. And this is when it turns into a really cool scene. All the Rangers are together now. They are working together. They are being one. I really like this. The morph sequence was amazing. We've seen it where we've got the Rangers kind of together, the first 3, so Melt, Asuna, and Kyo, and then now we've got Bamba and Toya who completely jump into this, and we see like the nice thing, all of them jumping out, doing the whole thing, telling who they are, and then all of a sudden like you see the castle with the kind of like the banners going down, and it feels like they made the team. But what's kind of interesting in this as well is it's made me think that this could have been the last episode, which isn't a bad thing, but it feels like it had that feel straight away. And we're only at the very beginning of the season, so I'm wondering how this is going to affect much later on. Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? Now, the entire fight scene is pretty much the same. They call the Dino Knights, they make I'm guessing, the 5-Night Dino Knight, which is a cool name, it should be called that. And they go against Tankjoh, who has made himself giant, as well as the guard dog, or we're going to call it the dog Minosaur, which again isn't bad, but this again felt like the end episode. Like, they've all come together. So when they formed this like really cool Dino Knight Megazord and they rush in and they attack, there's no pulling punches. It's straight to the case. They destroy it. They have this kind of like banter, they do this kind of like the finisher attack, which I like because it shows you all the Megazords. And again, which I've seen in other Sentai's last episodes, I'm going to be going on about it, where they just full on attack. And it's like, these are all the stuff that we've got, boom. But when he's been hit with 5 different attacks, it doesn't work. Tankjoh just gets up and goes like, haha, it didn't work. But this is when Kyo uses what is going to be a marketing thing, where they use a new soul to make him puffy, to make him flow up. Tankjoh, that is, not the others. They do one more attack, which is like a beam attack, which destroys Tankjoh completely. And you kind of think, Tankjoh was meant to be this huge, big badass, and he just got destroyed. And then that's it. So then it comes down to the last part of the episode, where all the Rangers are saying goodbye to each other, preferably. Obviously, Melt, Suna, and Kyo are going to stick together, but Bamba and Toya kind of walk off, which I'm guessing Toya turns around and says like, oh, see you later maybe, or we're off, or something like that. And then we get the old man in the kebab van. Perfect. Awesome. He turns up and he just watches the Asuna, Melt, and Kyo, and I'm guessing he's going like, these ones are it, I'm glad that they've got the powers, or he's saying like, oh, what's going on? And then that's pretty much the end of the episode. It wasn't a bad episode. It felt very much like a finale. I can't wait for the next one, because if you've seen the preview of it, then obviously we've got a new bad guy, which I think is kind of cool. But this entire whole episode was fun. It wasn't light, it wasn't dark, it was again in the middle. So I'm hoping in the next few episodes we're going to get more darker episodes, we're going to get more light-hearted episodes. Is there a thing like this could carry on? Yeah, as I said, this again was like a finale episode. So if they can make me think this at the very beginning or have that kind of appeal, I'm wondering how they're going to do it at the very last episode. Oh, I'd love it. I would love it if the last episode felt like the first episode, or like halfway through or something. Or that all the big bad guys come back at the end. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tankjoh comes back much later on, he's hiding or something like that. So yeah, that is kind of my thoughts and review on it. So Ranger Nation, your question is, what did you think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you not? Does it make you feel like it's the same, like it's the end of this series? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and consider subscribing. Hit that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And as always, NetRange Nation, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.